Hello, party people. Here we are with our after morning coffee doings. So we started this on today's morning coffee. It is the 20th of March if you wanted to catch the beginning of this video. This is still from the little pack that Shannon gave us yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Part of Unplanned and Unbothered. I can link that in the description as well. So, we have started this out, and this necklace here, we got one strand of the 8mm black and white mix Chinese crystals. These are $3 on Thunderhorse Descendant. We sold these guys on Monday. And then also these guys, the Kuchi pendants, we sold a couple of weeks ago, and they're $3.50. So you might have some of those rolling around. And so that's what we got. And then I had found this chain on my desk, so we decided to use this to get a little more, less sparkly, if you will. So we got a little more kind of a rustic, ethnic situation going on, and that's why we decided to go with the leather. So the plan is to create these little guys and then do a little smidge chain and then another leather piece. So that's what we're doing. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this. Okay. I'm in the upstairs because I got a bum knee, you know, so I don't know if you guys can see what I got going on. Like, I don't have my monitor hooked up. I could hook up my monitor. I always say that. Maybe I should. Anyway, so I know I got one end of this glued in, but I don't remember which end. Oh, must be that side. So we've decided to go with this where we're putting beads on each side of the two leathers. Let's glue this crimp in here. There we go. I'll let that dry. And this one I already have glued on. So put this one on one side, and then I've got black and white on this side. There we go. Bring those together. And I kind of just got them spread out a little bit like this. And I'm going to go ahead and squish these so I can get them into my crimp or leather end, whatever you want to call it. A little smidge of glue. That might have been slightly excessive. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Houston. And I just push them up there to where I can just barely see them coming out of the top of the crimp. And it's going to let that dry. I got a little excess glue on that one, so I'm going to put it over there so it doesn't get on the mat. Okay, these are drying up. So what we got to have now is see if I got any more of these. They might be in the antique silver. I was using these vintage oval jump rings. Let me see. How many of those I got left. These two I stole off the chain. It looks like I've only got two. Two of those bad boys. Maybe there's some in here. She said, hopefully. No. All right, so I think I will use some stainless steel. Some smaller stainless steel. And I do have these two, so maybe I will put these up towards the top to kind of bring it all together when we get around to that part. But for connecting, I'm going to use these stainless steel ones. Make sure I'm in the frame, yeah. Okay, so before we go to connecting these, we then need to crimp the crimp part after it's dried. So I'm going to place my plier in there and just give it a push. I said this in the morning coffee, but you then have to flip it over and do the other side to get an equal crimp on there. Okay. So there's one. Do the same thing over here. Now we do have glue in there, so this is kind of an extra precaution. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach these with these stainless steel jump rings. Now let's see, do I want to, let me just use this one down here maybe. Yeah, I'm going to use this vintage one to attach down here. Oops. Like so. So because this is an oval, it is going to help things to hang the way that I want them to hang. Never allowing the full weight of the necklace to be on the weakest part of the crimp, which is where, or the weakest part of the jump ring, which is where the jump ring opens. Because it opens on the side, and the shape of the jump ring does not allow for that. So now I gotta see which way I want to do this. Do I want to do it this way? I think I'm going to do it this way. Uh-oh. I lost everything. Get back on there, everything. Okay, we're going to close that up. There we go. Cool. So now you can see I have my white and my black both facing inward. This one to the outside. So now we're going to move on to the next portion, which is doing a little bit of chain. So this was a bargain bead box doings I did a long time ago. I just found it on my desk up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 chain links for each side. So I'm going to take this guy off. And then this one, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to close these up, and I am going to attach these with jump rings. Alrighty. So a little smidge for each side. So if you didn't have any of these, I didn't make these. I made them with my looper, and they were part of like a rosary chain. So you could make those, and you could use crystals if you wanted to, or if you did have some lava stones rolling around, you could use those. You could really use anything you want. I'm just using these because they were laying on my desk. I'm secretly trying to clean my way off of my desk. It's not working. But you know, I always try it. Okay, I'm gonna attach that one with the stainless steel jump ring. Same for this side, just attaching right on to the leather end. Okay. So we are doing pretty good. This is what we have so far. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I can't tell if you guys can see everything. You can't. There we go. Well, kind of. Okay, so now we're just going to do a little smidge of leather to finish off, and then we'll probably add a Old Faithful, probably what we'll do. Oh, just gonna move this to the side for right now. So we're just basically gonna make some more of these little leather pieces. So I've been using the 1.5 millimeter leather for this. This is Leather Cord USA. And I'm just using just a little smidge of it. I gotta get 4 pieces. And perhaps I should, before I just go willy-nilly finishing this off, I should measure to see how much we need. Okay, so to right here, which is the shortest part, we have 6 inches. So we need at least 9 inches. So we need 3 inches. Well, with our finding, we would need, you know, probably 2.5. 2.5. Let's see how long this one is. This one's, including the ending, about 3. No, it's about 2.5. All right. Well, that works out perfect for us. So we need about 2.5 inches for this side. So I'm just going to measure that out. And I am going to do a little bit of trimming, so I might give an extra 1/8 of an inch or so. Alright, so this shall be my little guy. So I'm going to get 4 of these. There's 2. 3. 4. All right. So then I'm going to make sure I got, let's see, 4 crimps. 4 crimps. 1, 2, 3, 4. These can go back in the jar. Whoops, something just fell off my desk. All right, and we are ready to rock. So let's move this over here for now. Okay, so then we got to have our silver beads, 2 black beads, and 2 white beads. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this to a point. Same with this one. And bring those together and squish the ends so that I can comfortably get it into the end tube. Squish it. You gotta squish down a little ways because you know you're gonna be putting it in there a little ways. So I'm gonna do a little glue. Just the edge. And then get that in there. So again, I'm just putting it so you can just barely see both are coming up there. I'll let that dry. Move on to the next one, do the same thing. Little glue. I do glue on both sides, but just a little bit. You don't want it coming out of this tube and getting all over your leather. Let's put that down and I let them dry before I crimp them and before I kind of start messing around too much. Plus, if I had gotten any on my fingers, if I then touch the leather, it's going to tear off the top part of the leather and it's going to look bad. So you got to be careful with that. Now, if that should happen, let me just give you a little tip. If that happens, you just go ahead and get yourself a Sharpie marker and you just color it. No one's wiser. So I'm going to come back over here to this one, and I got the metallic on one side. Oh, I got to give it a pointy trim. Doing the pointy trim just helps it to get into the beads and into the finding better, because you got a little bit of leeway there. Then I've got white on the bottom. I was having this little trouble earlier where some of the beads didn't want to go on, but I got her. And then black. Not that one. This one. There we go. And then I just kind of maneuver them around. There we go. And now I can see this one's a little bit longer, so I am just going to go ahead and trim it. Do the squishing. It's important, the squishing. Little glue. Into the finding. Ooh, that's too much. That was a little much. I went a little far, but that's okay. Let him dry. Same to the other side. There's something about summer that makes me want to do leather projects. You would think it'd be the other way around. Because in the winter, when it's cold, well, I live in the cold, all the metal and stones get cold. Obviously, everything is cold. You would think we'd be doing leather in the winter, but no. What's happening here? That would not work. Okay. Sometimes beads just have a different drill on them. And it could also be, okay, we got, what do we got? White on the bottom. It could also be that sometimes there's a little bump in the leather where it'll be a little bit thicker in certain places, and that's just kind of a thing that happens. But for the most part, I think we're doing pretty good here. Okay. Well, I Hercules it. Over squished it. Don't over squish. A little bit of glue, a little bit of finding. Okay, ooh. There we go. Okay, now I'll let those dry. And while those are drying, this is our last step. So while those are drying, I'm going to go ahead and get out an Old Faithful clasp or see if I got one. And this color, what am I using? Silver? Of course I don't have silver. I thought I put that on the list. Oh yeah, I did. They didn't have any. Okay, so not silver. Not an Old Faithful clasp. Sad. Let's go with... How about a hook and eye? How do we feel about a hook and an eye? I haven't used one of those bad boys in a long time. My little box just got messed up here. Hold on a second. Alright, let's do a hook and an eye. So, let's see. Here's a hook. And, here's a leather. Oh, that's for little leather. Let's use one of these toggle clasp ends. Does that work? Do we love that for us? Sometimes you gotta give these the smidgiest of stretches. Not too much though. Yeah, let's do that. You could also just use a jump ring or a soldered ring or something. But I do like to use these because they are soldered, because when you're, sometimes you kind of got to push those in and you're pulling on them a lot. I kind of prefer to have a soldered ring. My personal opinions, we're going to call that a design choice. Do what you want. There's no rules around here. All right, on to this. Okay, so we're going to bring this bad boy in here. Oh, first we gotta crimp our crimps. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Randy. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and crimp the crimps. Crimp the crimps, crimp the crimps. And just make sure they're getting crimped up right. And if you don't have enough muscle to do this, you just put your handle into the mat and push down. That's what I do, but don't do it too much or you'll be in trouble. You'll cut your leather off, you'll waste a crimp, and nobody likes that. Flip it over to the other side, because you gots to. And I explained this in the morning coffee, but if you don't, inside your crimp is going to look like this. If you just crimp on one side, because when you come in with the plier, you're putting more pressure on the part that's over here versus what's over here. So you have to then flip it around, crimp this side down too, so that it's even, Steven. Otherwise you're going to have a loose crimp. End, leather end, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now we can attach. Now we can do it. I'm excited. Okay. So, let's see. We want white going down. I'm going to use this smaller stainless steel. The stainless steel is also, it's an oval, and it's also going to give us a little more stability because it is stainless steel, so it can, you know, withhold the weight and stuff. So put that on there. Close it up. Make sure it's closed up good. Yep. There we go. On to the other side. Also going to put the white to the inside and down. There we go. And now all we have to do is put on our ends. So I have these vintage ovals to match. Now this is gonna, because this is a larger oval, probably is gonna give us a little more length, but to be honest with you, I'm not mad at that because I kind of was thinking that this would be good as like a 20-incher. Oh, let me put it this way. Away from the body, they said. Away from the body. Here's another. Oh. And then this one has the little, I like that. It's got the little loop. Kind of makes it look a little more finished, you know. There we be. Close that bad boy up. And then we have this. So now these are going to move around. If you don't want them to move around, here's some tips for you. What you could do is you could hit them with a little bit of glue if you want. I quite honestly don't care if they move around. Let me just get this all straightened out here. Oh yeah. Hey, we're doing pretty good, let me tell you what. We'd be doing a lot better if we didn't have cat hair all over our mat, but you know, one thing at a time. Alright, so here, I don't know if you guys can see everything. Yeah, you can. Here is the finished product. I quite enjoy it. I think we did pretty good, guys, especially giving it that more like kind of rustic-y feel with less sparkle. I think we did good there. So let's get a measurement. I'm guessing. So we got to measure to this one because this is our shortest. I'm going to guess 20. And yeah, leather's going to stretch out a little bit. So just about 20. Just about 20. Now, here's some tips. If you wanted to add, so I'm just going to give you guys a few tips. First of all, before we go about adding things, what you're going to do after you're done doing this, if you've done this necklace, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang it up over the top of this thing right here. So it's hanging like this, hanging down. Gravity. Leather stretches, especially when it gets warm, it's going to stretch out a little bit. But you also don't want all these kind of curvy things going on. So what you're going to do is you're going to hang it here, just like with our knotted necklace, and you're going to give it just a smidge of water, just a whisper, half a smidge. You're just going to run it down over the leather. Don't worry, it's not going to hurt it. You're going to let it dry. When it dries, with gravity, everything is going to hang straight, just like when we straighten out our tassels, okay? So that's the first thing. Second thing is if you wanted to do a little extra up here to make it adjustable, all you're going to do is you're going to take this off of here. You're going to add a jump ring. You're going to add another one of these toggles. You could add as many as you wanted with a jump ring, and you're going to get additional soldered ends to where this could be adjustable with this hook and eye. So that is a couple of tips that I have about that. Other than that, I think it's quite great. I enjoy the key. I'm glad we added that. That's just something we found on my desk. I think that this was a nice touch. I like that we were able to get the beads on there, on this one. I really quite enjoy it. I'll be honest with you, the vintage oval twisted jump rings are helping. I do enjoy those. A little razzle dazzle. There you go. All right, you guys. Well, I hope that you are enjoying these videos. I'll try to get you a couple pictures here. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos, these after morning coffee videos. Like I've been saying, we just started doing these this year, so it's a pretty new playlist. So if you like it, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you give it a comment, so I know you want me to keep making this type of content, the finished product after the morning coffee. Yeah, so I will see some of you later today. We've got a members only live every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. If you are a member, you get to catch that live. So I will see some of you today, and I will see some of you tomorrow. I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.